So let's jump into our discussion between feminists and men's rights activists. Men already have all their rights.
Bro, I would cook on this shit.
If you agree, step forward. Let's start with you.
I hate the name men's rights activists because it does imply that as if our rights are being taken away. The problem that men face is more existential. The patriarchy conditions men or assigned male at birth people to pretty much just keep your feelings shut down. By age 10, your feelings don't matter. And then 12 through 13 and onwards, you just don't really feel like you matter much as a person. And I don't think anybody's disagreeing with that. Our rights aren't really under attack. Meanwhile, half of Congress.
Of course, this.
Congress
Of course he's there.
Hasn't codified Roe v. Wade. They're trying to control women's bodies, and it's just ridiculous. Like, our rights aren't under attack, but a lot of women's rights are, and I think it's important that we fight for that.
Right. I also think that there's a difference between like rights and inequalities.
Yeah, of course.
So I don't think that my rights being taken away. I think that's just an effect of patriarchy.
I agree.
We're not like losing our bodily autonomy. We're not, fearing for our lives walking down a dark hallway.
Bro! The reason why you fucking pussies are even able to have this stupid ass conversation right now is because of the fucking patriarchy. What? Bro, we have civilized the world so fucking much where these pussies can come in and say, well, I think it's blah, 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 blah. Bro, the reason why you're able to have these civil conversations that you're having right now talking about nuanced fucking culture war matters in the first place is because of the fucking patriarchy. We have civilized this so much that your dumbass doesn't even understand the struggle it took for humanity to get to this fucking point. The patriarchy fucking works. I'm tired of these losers running around saying, yo, deal with the patriarchy. It's a man's world. This is fucked up. Yeah. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. The reason why you fucking idiots are even here having this dumbass conversation, right? With electricity on, air conditioning. I've been to the studio. It's pretty fucking nice. Guess who built it? A fucking man. A bunch of men with their hands. The architect that probably did the fucking sketch. The engineer that planned it. The fucking construction workers. Guaranteed 95% of the people that are involved in the construction of this fucking building are men. Guaranteed the plumbing that goes into that building, which, by the way, they got a bunch of weird all-gender bathrooms in there, by the way. It's LA. The guys that hung those signs up that said all genders, the faucets, the water coming out, the toilets, the nice paint job on that fucking building, the HVAC, the heating, all that, built by men. You fucking assholes. The fucking stools that you losers are sitting on, built by men. So you can go ahead and have this stupid ass conversation talking about the patriarchy. Shut up. Shut up. Hype train level 5, let's fucking go, baby. Let's fucking go. We're halfway there.
I don't think they're comparable.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you look at most of the world's leaders are men, most judges are men. Look at even our Supreme Court, there's 9 judges, and how many are women? It's the fact that women had to fight and ask to, in 1974, get access to have their own bank account, like, that's absurd. That's absurd that, just because.
And what came from that? Women control 3/4 of the debt, and they're 80% of the consumer base.
Stupid.
It was for your own good not to have a bank account.
There's a little clause in the Constitution that says all men being equal, they're going to play dumb and act like that means just men. It doesn't mean human. And for women to have to fight for anything to be equal to a man is just...
It's ridiculous.
It proves that men have their right. They're the ones that set the rights. They're the ones that, if that's most of our Senate, our House, our Congress, everybody, they're the ones that vote.
Yeah, because we built society. So since we built society, you're lucky we're even giving you a seat at the fucking table.
Stupid.
See, here's the thing. I'm a big proponent of a meritocracy. What do I mean by this? It means, how much skin do you have in the game? The person that has the most skin in the game has the most say. If I built something, I created something, and I'm the best at something, I have the most say in something. If you just watch me build it, enjoyed the fruits of my labor, then you want to come in and tell me how to run that something that I created, fuck you. And I'm one of the few men on the internet that say this shit. Well, Byron, I mean, don't you think that's a little extreme? I mean, women's rights, No. I don't even think all men are equal, to keep this 1,000 with y'all. Okay? This is just a men versus women thing. This is a meritocracy excellence thing. Okay? So I'm not going to give someone the ability to make a decision or have weigh-in on something that they don't have skin in. This is the whole reason why I said we need to repeal. That dumbass Ukrainian chick proved my point. She wants the war to continue, despite the fact that 500,000 people have died. Well, I don't want them to die in vain, so we got to continue the war. You know, I know we can't win and we need money from the United States, and Zelensky's a moron that dances in heels, but you know, come on, we need to keep going.
Stupid.
No, you don't keep going, dumb fuck. You don't keep going. Why should another man have to fucking die because your dumbass wants to sit there and pour blood on yourself in New York City? Why? Oh, I know why. Because you don't have skin in the game. You're not at risk. You're not the one getting shot at. You're not the one getting taken as a prisoner of fucking war. You're not the one getting blown up by fucking drones. I've seen it on Twitter. It's grotesque. It's fucked up. I don't want to see another Russian or another Ukrainian die. How do I have more empathy for your fellow countrymen than you? I'll tell you why. Because I'm a man. I understand how war works. I know the savagery of war. I understand the capability, the violence, how these men are capable of extreme violence. I understand that. I know that. And I don't want to see that happen anymore. And I'm a fucking American. How do I understand your country better than you, you stupid bitch? But again, this comes back to what I said before. When you don't have skin in the game, you don't give a fuck. When you don't give a fuck, you're going to make decisions that are ill-informed, like this fucking woman right here. So if we built it, we make the decisions, not you. You look like a fucking Starbucks barista. Serve up some coffee and shut the fuck up. All right?
Over the laws and
I'm
things.
going to get frank real quick. I'm cooking tonight, baby. Hype train level 6 we achieved. Alboys gave out 5 community subs. Thank you so much. Frosty FPS gave out 5 community subs. Thank you so much for the brokies. Your boy gave out 10 community subs. Thank you so much. 503 GT cheered to 100 bits. Thank you. Frosty FPS gave out 5 subs. Thank you so much. The dude guy person subscribed with Prime. Boom. All right, we're caught up. So here, I'll play this a little bit, guys. I'm going to go get Frank.
Things that get passed, they have the rights and they're the ones that dish them out to everybody else, and you're lucky if you can get them.
And we also need to remember men's right activism. While they do have some genuine plights, it started out as a combatant to feminism. So I feel like they laid the groundwork off a very bad foundation.
No, I honestly 100% agree. I think it's been hijacked by a lot of bad faith actors who blame women for problems that you should blame the patriarchy.
Exactly.
No, and it's very frustrating because I'm on this side because I think that there is genuine problems that I think need to be addressed.
Exactly.
I'm sure we can all agree on that.
What are some of those problems?
High suicide rates. Men are 4 times as likely to, I don't know what the TikTok version of the phrase is, but 4 times more likely. I think that's something that should be talked about more. I think that there's also, a lot of men are very hesitant to get rid of the notions of patriarchy, whereas I've noticed a lot of women or assigned female at birth people are very willing to just throw away any notions of femininity. I think a lot of men have a lot of emotional baggage from the patriarchy that they redirect at women, and it's not fair to them, and it's also hurting us.
Right.
And the problem is for some men, all they have is their notion of masculinity to the point that they cannot let it go, and they can't see.
Shout out to Ann Noren for subscribing on Prime. We got Frank back in the house. Dude was fucking falling asleep on a fucking pillow in my room. I had to bring him in here.
Anything else other than that, when the actuality is, again, gender isn't real. We're just plants with complicated emotions. When I look at people, I just see human-shaped flowers.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I would say that a lot of these men's rights activists, they're struggling. Like you said, they have high suicide or high self-deletion, whatever we're supposed to say, rates.
I love how it says feminist in here. Bro, this girl is literally an online prostitute. You can literally Google her and find videos of her having sex on Twitter. I am not kidding around. The chat, you guys did your fucking research. We had her on and dudes were fucking passing her videos around on the chat. Like, bruh, she literally has sex on the internet for money.
I don't know what the word is.
And the way they're coping with
unaliving
it,
themselves.
yeah, and the way that they're coping with it is by saying, okay, we're having this issue, so we need to put women back.
Exactly, it's not
and
fair.
be this, yeah, we need to take away their rights. We need this society to be the way it was, where like all the rights that were afforded to people, it was men. Men were the first people to get rights, and then other people have to, especially white men, and then everyone else has to catch
Yeah,
up
because they built society, so therefore they have the most say.
to them, and because they're struggling, they go, oh, let's turn the clock back. Number one, that's impossible.
Level 7, guys. 15 seconds to go. 65%. Who's going to be the fucking Kobe here, man? Let's get this thing to 10. Let's get this thing to fucking hype train level 10, baby. Let's go. 8, 7. Oh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Womp. Reach level 7.
You're not going to turn the clock back. And number two, I don't think that's actually going to help the issue.
It's not going to help the issue. He'll hinder it.
On the suicide thing, I do think it's important to have a little bit of nuance that women actually attempt suicide
that's
far
true.
more often. The
That is
reason why
true,
men are
yes.
more successful as it is because they're more likely to own a firearm and use it.
Yes.
But in terms of like men.
No, men are just better at seeing things through, bro. I mean, just say it like it is, man. They're more likely to have a firearm and actually use it. They're just better at seeing things through. You just didn't want to say that.
Fighting for rights. I think that like movements that attempt to fight for rights for particular groups, that sort of description should be exclusive to genuine social justice movements. You know, there may be disparities in ways in which the patriarchy does disadvantage men, but I think that you can't co-opt the language of it being a social justice or rights-based movement.
No, that's the problem is that like I have this thing I say. I feel like saying that like men have feelings is kind of like saying all lives matter because men only ever bring up their problems directly after women bring up theirs. So it just sounds dismissive, and that's the problem is that for a lot of men, I think we feel so uncared for by society. We feel so like just like we don't really matter unless we prove our worth, that anytime any social movement gets any sort of traction, we just immediately just bum rush that.
And it really makes me wonder that there are rational men's rights activists, seeing as yourself, but are these people advocating, bad actors, for women's rights to be peeled back for them to feel comfortable?
I think so, because I think the problem is that a lot of men, again, people who are so rooted in their gender bother me because it only hurts you. It only hurts other people around you. It's kind of like the idea of like, because the problem is that men are allowed to express anger, but they're not allowed to express sadness.
Right.
Women are allowed to express sadness, but you cannot express anger.
Or else they get called like a bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never heard one men's rights activist talk about like men, the loneliness epidemic of men not having friends.
without
It's
blaming
always
women.
like women's
Exactly.
problem.
No, I agree.
They don't want to date you. They don't
Yeah,
want to
no,
like
it's
hook
stupid.
up
They
with
never
you.
offer
They
any
never talk
solutions.
about, yeah.
No solutions.
exactly.
Okay, so this
Exactly.
is a great opportunity to bring in our
Okay.
disagreeers, but I ask that we listen to what they have to say before we disagree with them.
So the perspective that I come from was about 3 years ago, I wanted to know why men didn't want to get married anymore. I kept hearing men say, I don't want to get married. And it kind of took me down the rabbit hole of family court. I started interviewing men that had been what's called divorce raped. And I kept finding guy after guy after guy that lived a couple miles from his kids and could not see them. It goes back to men should have access to their children. It's 50% their DNA. They should get 50% custody off the bat. And right now, 90% of the time, women get custody. The question was, do men have all of their rights? How can I say that they have all of their rights when I'm finding guy after guy after guy that is devastated he can't talk to his children? I had one guy who the woman got custody, and she ended up taking the kid to a different country, and now his kid doesn't speak his same language. He spent $300,000 trying to get that kid back.
Today's sponsor is Be Naked. After 30, your testosterone drops by 2% every year. Yeah, that's right. While you're out here scrolling TikTok, your masculinity is packing his bags. But you don't have to be that guy. Step up with Naked Organs. This ain't no soy boy supplement. This is straight up 100% bison organs, liver, kidney, heart. The stuff men have been using for centuries to stay sharp, strong, and keep their testosterone sky high. Forget your vegan pea protein, quinoa, or whatever weak sauce they're pushing. This is Primal Power, packed with B12, iron, and zinc. Real nutrients that your body needs to stay jacked and ready to dominate. Go to BeNaked.com, use code FRESH, and get 15% off. Keep your masculinity in check, guys. Code word FRESH. BeNaked.com, use code FRESH for 15% off.
Support them, support us.